Shalom. All praise, glory, and honor be to the Most High. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakudash. Kalalim La Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakudash. All praise and double honors to our apostles of GMS, Grimmel Stone. Salutations to the Akim pushing this word in our sincerity and in our truth. You know, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians are the real Israelites. We are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, all right, we are scattered. Native American Indians are scattered into the four corners of the earth. All right, as part of our punishment for our disobedience, against the Heavenly Father. But on this side right now, He's having mercy on a remnant, the elect, all right, which will be delivered from the coming destruction that is coming upon all the earth. And as we mentioned, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Topic at hand is how the wicked is destroying the earth, and the scriptures speak on such thing. I'm going to read this article, a piece of it, and then we jump to some precepts. All right, now Neil Richards, this is the writer for this article, he stopped taking over farmlands to develop housing solution. All right. Neither government nor private developers should continue taking over Jamaica's good farmlands. And bear in mind, this is happening all in different parts of the world. All right. Should continue taking over Jamaica's good farmlands with either simple or sophisticated housing schemes. And a lot of times are for the most part, when these housing schemes and apartments are developed, majority of the people, which are low-income earners, can't afford it. This is not even, this is real thing that is taking place on the ground. Majority of the people, which are low-income earners in Jamaica, they can't afford it, man. Say the use of highly productive agricultural lands for housing should be severely restricted and allowed only when a clear national necessity is proven. Yet across the island, construction of large, low-density housing estates continues unchecked on soils of great agricultural value. This must be altered. If allowed to continue, Jamaica will face deepening food insecurity and further erosion of any hope for agriculture, self-sufficiency, an economic pillar that could stand confidently beside the ever-glorified tourism sector. See? Now, let me show you something. I think it's BOJ just put it out, Salakia. I never have it queued up. BOJ just put it out. Warning again, yeah, Salakia. I never have it queued up, man. Jamaicans urge, this is by BOJ, or name Richard Biles. Jamaicans urge to brace for cost of living spike in 2026. Food, utilities, and everyday service set to climb. All right. Now, Jamaica is not the country. Jamaica is not highly they call it dependent on what they plant. They are highly dependent on imported goods. So this is really, a threat to food securities for real, because you realize that most of the housing schemes and major apartments that have been building up, it's actually are done on arable land, fertile land, agricultural land. See? So it's really a shooting themselves in the foot. All right. Now, let me read this in Revelation 11 and 18. It says, "And the nations were angry their wrath is come, which is the wrath of the Most High, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that they should give us reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Little do many people know that this is part of destroying the earth, filling the whole earth with cities, filling the whole earth with concrete jungle. Zane, this is part of destroying the earth. Yeah? Majority of the people that are in the city, them don't really know what walking on earth is like. You know, from the moment them set foot on ground, is just pure concrete, which is not healthy for you. You know, which is cutting you off from the natural vibration of the land. You know? So and destroying to your physical well-being also. So this is not productive. This is not healthy, and that's what has been happening in Jamaica. Majority of the farmlands. I remember a long time ago I did a lesson, and a farmer who was complaining of how many hundreds of acres of land that he had, that he plants vegetables are like tomatoes on. He had a large scale farming of tomatoes, and the government removed him because it was leased land. The government removed him to build housing scheme. Another incident of that happened in certain part of St. Catherine. Majority, and if you read this article, they show you that majority of the lands that are built up in cities were before farmlands, fertile lands that is good for agriculture. But they're rather to do that and import goods and import food. As I said, majority of the foods that are in Jamaica are imported goods. All right, this is Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children. Whose children? The wicked. Esau, Edom children. The so-called white man. This prepared slaughter for the children, for his children. All right, the king of Babylon, which is going to be destroyed. Isaiah 14 is a prophecy that is yet to be fulfilled. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of what their fathers. So you have the children of the oppressors, that inherit the glory, that inherit the fame, the riches, the wealth, the stolen wealth, stolen riches of their fathers, man. And they're basking in those moments. And they themselves are also back here. A lot of them, inheriting the wicked, inheriting those riches, man, and wealth. That they do not, for what? That they do not rise and possess the land and fill the face of the whole world with cities. That's the agenda, because this is part of the New World Order agenda under the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, to prepare sustainable housing, man. Another thing that fall under that is what? Smart cities. 15-minute cities in England. You have China, which is a replica, which is a, what I call it now, Free America, are an example of what they want to achieve. Smart cities. Which is really surveillance cities, man. A city that will keep you trapped in. And that's their agenda. To reduce the earth population, and whatsoever is left of it, they filled the whole earth with cities. Look at the Amazon. They are also destroying large parts of the Amazon forest, man. Destroying a large part of the Amazon forest, which is basically the lungs of the earth, part of the lungs of the earth, But the so-called white man don't care, so that's why the Most High have to destroy him, that they do not rise, because their rise is is when they actually are their full, when they're fully raised, is when they accomplish, or if they actually accomplish that new world order, but they won't, because the Most High won't allow it, because He says prepare slaughter for them, that they do not rise and possess the land, nor fill the face of the whole earth with cities. Let me see if we can read that in our next version. He said, kill this man's children, let them die because of their father's sin. They must not rise to conquer the earth, filling the world with their cities. That's what they're doing with all of these concrete structures, man, and destroying agriculture. And what they want to do, give you fake or synthetic meat. This is Isaiah 27 verse 6, and this is when Israel will be in rulership. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, West Indians. We got next to rule the planet Earth, to rule the whole Earth, man. Not China, not Russia. He said, verse 6 says, in Isaiah 27 verse 6, He shall cause them that come of Jacob to take root. Israel shall blossom and bud, and fill the face of the whole world with fruits. Yeah, with fruit, man. So instead of cities and concrete jungle, we're going to fill it with things that are sustainable, things that are healthy, things that are productive, man. Zane, he said in the NLT, the time is coming when Jacob's descendants will take root. Israel will bud and blossom, and fill the face of the whole world with fruit. Yeah. So that's the contrary to when the wicked is ruling. When the wicked is ruling, he destroys the earth. That's what you see happening now. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, we're in who is he? He destroyed the earth. Yeah, who is ruling the earth? The so-called white man, which is evident. Blossom and bud. We're gonna flourish, man. Zane, and the earth gonna flourish, because the earth gonna bring forth gonna actually be in a righteous or under a righteous rulership. Alright? Fill the face of the whole world with fruit. Yeah, instead of violence, the earth gonna produce. Instead, what the money want to do, the money want to destroy themselves. Can quickly skip back down to that. Instead, look what these men want to do. So, yeah. Look what these men want to do. These men, Canada silently approves fake meat and dairy with no labels for warning needed or for warning needs. Bill Gates funded GMO corn that makes people infertile, set to save the world from overpopulation, quote unquote. And that's their agenda, man. To reduce the earth population below 500 million. That was on the Georgia Guidestone before they destroyed it. Breaking scientists have now created genetically modified contraceptive corn that attacks sperm in order to reduce the human population. And I learned this a long time ago about sweet corn or GMO corns, that they actually have what do you call it now, certain chemicals in it, man, that is actually a spermicide. See, GMO concept to stop man spreading his seed. Concept to save the world from overpopulation. And they've been doing that through other foods, through other GMO foods that they create, So they've been doing it for a long time. And that's why our people is filled up with so many diseases, so many illnesses, man, and stuck in the hospital and hooked to the pharmacies because of these genetically modified foods that were created by the so-called white man Esau Edom. So when they fill the face of the whole earth with cities, what you think gonna increase? When agriculture gonna decrease and the imported goods gonna increase. And farming is dwindling. Farming in Jamaica is at its worst ever. No young people is encouraged to farm. and it is on the dying. Farming is dying, man. But with that, what the session was edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom.